Hi and welcome to my channel Getting Younger for people who, like me, just refuse to grow old gracefully and want to reverse their biological age to be younger in heart, body and mind. So in this video, I'm just going to share my top 5 things in my quest for getting younger. Crazy as this concept sounds, and no, I'm not a nut job, this is just following science, prominently brought to the world by David Sinclair in his book Lifespan. So just to be clear, I'm not a doctor or a scientist, far from it, just a regular guy getting close to 50 and documenting my personal journey and using myself as a science project or guinea pig, however you want to put it. So straight in there with number 5. Number 5 is intermittent fasting. So what is intermittent fasting? Well, it does exactly what it says on the tin. It's where you just don't eat. Well, you don't eat for periods of time anyway. In a really simple explanation, because this channel is definitely not about scientific jargon, there's plenty of experts online and also in my links in the description to help you get through the science. But in a basic way, what's happening is by not eating is putting your body into a defense mode. And when your body goes into this defense mode, it starts a repair process that boosts your immune system and helps protect what's called the longevity genes. Now this will make you stay younger for longer, well, or make you live longer, however you want to put it. What I do is the 16-8 method. Now 16-8, that basically means I don't eat for 16 hours and I do eat for 8 hours. Now if you say 16 hours, that's quite a long time to not eat, it is, but it's not. It's not if you think about I'm sleeping for so much of that time, and that counts. When you're sleeping, it's the same. It doesn't matter whether you're awake or not, your body's still not having food going into its system. So what I personally do is I will eat at 7 o'clock when my kids are eating. I'll try and eat with them, or probably just after them, because I need to clean up all the food that they're throwing all over the kitchen. And then I will just eat a big meal, as in regular good healthy meal, and I won't snack. I'll just stop. Now that's the hardest part, because you've got to stop your snacking time. You've got to stop your snacking and your Netflix. So if you can get through that, you're good, because then you basically sleep. You go to bed. When you wake up, depending on what time you wake up, you just skip breakfast. You skip breakfast, go to around about 11 o'clock, depending on when your 16-hour window ends, and then you can start eating. Now, this is great because you've covered then 16 hours and you can eat the rest of the day. So what I usually do is I usually break the fast with a few nuts, because you don't want to go in with a big heavy meal, because your digestive system will just collapse. Not collapse literally, but it won't be good. You'll just feel like you've hit a brick wall. So break your fast with something like a few nuts, maybe not with salt and toasted, just regular natural nuts. And then what I also do is I have a salad for lunch, maybe like an hour or two later. So that's basically what I do, and it will make you feel more alert. It will make you feel more energized. It will just give you just a kind of like a better feeling where you don't go into these slumps like during the day, especially the after lunch slump. And one thing you can also do, which is amazing, is you can drink coffee. Now I'm a huge coffee fan. I couldn't live without coffee. I definitely wouldn't fast if coffee wasn't included in it. However, you can't have coffee with milk. So if you have black coffee, then it will work super nice. I have 1 or 2 coffees in the morning. I'm trying to do 1 and then 1 decaf, just to not have too much caffeine. And then that will keep you going until your fast ends. And then once your fast ends, you can just eat normally, but just try and eat more healthy. Number 4 is cold showers. What? Really? Cold showers? Yes, cold showers. And if you would have told me a year ago that I would be standing in a cold shower every single day of my life, I would have said you're absolutely out of your mind and no way, you must be talking about someone else. But I'm doing it. The reason why the cold showers work is because there's this thing called hormesis. And again, I won't get too much into the science, but what it is, it's something where a little bit of something bad for you actually can be quite good for you, because your body responds again in a way to the stress. Now, it's a thing called hormetic stress. So it's not mental stress, it's very different. It's something that happens in your body, and your body will build up a stronger response, which means your body can then take more of it later. And this is thought to be very good for longevity. So every morning I do a hot shower first, my regular shower. And then what I do is I flip it straight to freezing cold, or as cold as I can get it, and I stand there. Now that may just sound awful, and it is actually sometimes, but I didn't start like that. I started just gradually turning it a little bit and just like going, a little bit cold, but trying to just get used to it, and gradually I got used to it. And now I can just go straight to the cold and I can stand under the cold. But it's not easy. So, but one thing that really helped me and that I've been following is a guy called Wim Hof. Now, I'm sure many of you are familiar with Wim Hof. He's called the Iceman and is a bit of a legend. And he does a lot of this kind of cold therapy. He does a lot of he puts himself into ice and all crazy things. But he has an app which I've used, and he also has YouTube videos where he does this breathing exercise. Now the breathing exercise really helps me when I'm in the cold shower as well, because it puts my mind in the right position, in the right state of mind. And then I can kind of focus and calm myself down and not get too panicked when the cold hits me. And that really helps. So at number 3 is exercise, which is super important for longevity. And they actually say that just by exercising three times a week for 15 to 20 minutes and getting yourself out of breath can extend your life by something like 20%, which is nuts if you just think, you know, how simple that can be really, just to fit that into your life. Now, everybody's got a busy life, I'm sure, but if you can just fit in a little bit of exercise, it will just do you the world of good. So one of the reasons from a scientific point of view to do exercise is because it helps you create new blood vessels, and this will protect you from some of the major diseases in life. However, there's something that happens as you get older. Certain pathways in your body will become defective. And so this is where something, I'll leave a link in the description as well, where you need to boost your NAD levels. Now we'll get to more of that in a little bit. So what I do is I do some weights. I have some weights in my room which I bought secondhand, didn't cost me a lot of money, and I do these things called super reps, where I'll try and do reps kind of fast, not too heavy, although it is said to go heavy is very good for you. But as you can see, I'm not such a big guy. And I'll probably just work out for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, maybe 3 or 4 times a week. And then what I've also done is bought myself a folding bike so I can cycle to work. I try and use the stairs as much as I can instead of elevators. So it's not a lot, but it's something, and just trying to make use of my time where I can just do something in between. So taking spot number 2 and number 1. Number 2 and number 1 are going together because they're both supplements, and they're both supplements at the forefront of the whole longevity debate and the reversing aging debate. So these 2 supplements are called NMN and resveratrol. Now bear in mind, it is not proven completely that these things work. However, there's a lot of people like me that have actually been testing them and trying them, and they work for us. So going into the science just a little bit, we all have a molecule in our body called NAD. Now this molecule is crucial. And it's something that actually keeps us alive. Now, when we're younger, we have more NAD in our body, and when we get to midlife, the NAD reduces. Now, what happens when this NAD reduces is it stops things communicating as they should within our body, and this is what they think is actually causing aging, this miscommunication that's going on throughout your body. So one of the things that the scientists explain is if we boost our NAD in our system using NMN and resveratrol together, you can potentially boost your levels back to how they were when you were in your 30s, for example. So this is what is thought to actually make us get younger from a biological point of view. So I've been following this advice, and I thought I'd put this to the test quite some time ago. And I've been taking 1 gram of resveratrol, 1 gram of NMN every day, usually in the morning, because apparently the morning's when your NAD levels are highest, and that's the best time to take these supplements. So I do what David Sinclair does. I mix a little bit of resveratrol powder in with a tiny bit of yogurt, because you need to mix it with food. You can't just drink it with water, but just a tiny bit so it doesn't break your fast too much. And then take a couple of pills of NMN, which come to 1 milligram. And it makes me feel great. I remember the first day that I took the NMN, because resveratrol takes a little bit of time to get into your system, but NMN can happen quite quickly. You can feel the effects. And on the first day, I remember I was cleaning my apartment, and I was just cleaning it like crazy. I was going so fast, it was nuts. And anyway, every day since then, I feel great. It makes me feel strong, it makes me feel young, it makes me feel energized. You've only got to go onto the internet and YouTube and type in NMN, and you will see what all the fuss is about. So there you have it, and I hope this is giving you a little bit of a shortcut through some of the scientific jargon which you can find all over the place. and also in the links below. If you like what you're seeing, then please subscribe and like, but also please leave me a comment and tell me what you think, and let's keep the debate going. And I'm really interested in hearing what's working for you too. So that's it for today. Thanks very much, and join me next time.